I'm reading this New York Times article, and it's talking about housing prices in California specifically. And it was talking about how basically it's almost impossible to build houses cheap enough now that people can still afford them. I realized this is very similar to the sorts of problems that we're facing in eDiscovery, and the complaints, quite honestly, are similar. There's specialties in contracting, quite honestly in eDiscovery as well, where there's folks that do lots of different things, right? There's tile guys and there's drywall guys, and in the same way, eDiscovery has this, right? There's people who are focused on doc review, and there's folks that are just doing collections, and there's consultants, and there's all these different practice areas. There's a lot of extra costs that end up in a system like that where you have basically a disaggregated industry. What they did to solve this in the construction industry was take a lot of these subs and put them in the same spot. Get them all working together, put them literally, quite literally underneath one roof. And when they did that, they realized that the supply chain essentially shrunk. And it got much smaller, and in that a lot of costs were squeezed out without sacrificing quality. The fact is there's no one eDiscovery company that's good at every single process of the EDRM. So how do you then, in an eDiscovery context, put everyone under one roof? There's a lot of synergies that can happen when all the technologies are talking to one another and they're all on one technology platform, one backbone. And they're not with two different vendors in two different data centers, operated by two different teams. The limit that we run up against when we start talking about technology platforms is how many of these can you consolidate? Now, some platforms, something like Relativity, does quite a lot. You can accomplish quite a lot in that platform, but there's still holes. My team is really good at integrating these things, making them talk together, all in our private cloud environment. You can have multiple platforms, but if they're integrated, they start to act as one. And that's really when you have a suite of technology.